Imagine a dog so tiny you could tuck it inside your jacket. That's what toy breeds are, small in size but bursting with life.
The world's smallest dog weighs just 1.5 pounds and it lives right here in Orlando.
So tiny.
From pups with ears larger than their heads to pups so delicate they've been called living jewelry, these are the 15 smallest dog breeds in the world, and they'll only get smaller and cuter as we go along. Number 15. Japanese Chin. If you've ever wanted a dog that feels half cat, meet the Japanese Chin. Tiny, silky, and graceful, this little pup stands only about 8 to 11 inches tall and weighs just 7 to 11 pounds. They usually live around 10 to 12 years, which is a solid run for such a small dog. Their coats are pure eye candy, black and white, red and white, or black and white with tan eyebrow points. And they stay neat with just a quick brush once or twice a week. This breed has a royal backstory. The Japanese Chin was once the pampered pet of nobility in Japan, so treasured that they were even carried inside wide kimono sleeves. In 1854, when Commodore Matthew Perry opened Japan to the West, the breed made its debut overseas. That same year, a pair was gifted to Queen Victoria, and from there, Europe's obsession began. What makes them so charming is that cat-like personality. They love perching on high spots, use their paws to wash their faces, and, thanks to being so light on their feet, they have a sharper sense of balance than most dogs while keeping surprisingly tidy. They don't need intense workouts. Short walks and indoor play will do the trick. Apartment dwellers love them, but they hate being left alone too long. Grooming is easy, weekly brushing, an occasional bath, and careful dental care since toy breeds are prone to tartar. Health-wise, think heat and eyes. Their flat faces mean hot, humid weather can be tough, so keep walks short and cool. Their big exposed eyes need regular checks, and breeders should screen for knee issues like patellar luxation. With the right care, many live longer than 12 years. If you're buying, make sure the breeder screens both knees and eyes, and know your markings. Those tan tricolor spots should be right above the eyes, inside the ears, on the cheeks, and under the tail. Number 14. Brussels Griffon. Now, from silky elegance to scruffy charm, meet the Brussels Griffon. This is the dog with the almost human face. They're small, standing only 7 to 10 inches at the shoulder and weighing 8 to 10 pounds, though the standard caps them at 12. Life expectancy? Around 12 to 15 years. You'll see them in two coat types: rough, which is wiry and needs special stripping, or smooth, which is short and much easier to manage. Colors include red, black, and tan, pure black, and a reddish-brown mix called Belge. The Griffon's story starts in the stables of Brussels, where coachmen used them as rat catchers. In the 1800s, breeders mixed them with pugs and English toy spaniels, shrinking their bodies and exaggerating those expressive faces. When Belgium's Queen Marie Henriette fell for the breed, their popularity exploded. By the early 1900s, they'd reached the United States, earning AKC recognition in 1910. Decades later, their fame skyrocketed again when a Brussels Griffon starred alongside Jack Nicholson in the movie As Good as It Gets, turning the scruffy little face into a cultural icon. In Europe, you'll hear three names: Griffon Bruxellois, Griffon Belge, and Petit Brabançon. But in the US, it's just rough or smooth coats under one breed. As pets, Griffs are lively, clingy, and hilariously expressive, true Velcro dogs. They thrive on constant companionship, so positive, gentle training is key. Exercise is easy, short walks and playtime. but their short muzzles mean summer heat can be risky. Owners should know about two big health concerns. First, some Griffs can suffer from Chiari-like malformation and syringomyelia, neurological conditions studied in veterinary journals. Responsible breeders will screen for these. Second, nearly half of U.S. Griffon litters are born by C-section, with small litter sizes, which makes breeder transparency crucial. And of course, expect toy breed basics, knee checks, and dental care. Number 13, Miniature Pinscher. The Miniature Pinscher isn't just another toy dog, it's known as the king of toys. Standing around 10 to 12.5 inches tall and weighing 8 to 10 pounds, this little powerhouse struts with a flashy, high-stepping gait called the hackney. Their short, sleek coat comes in solid red, stag red, black with rust, or chocolate with rust. And here's the truth. Despite looking like a mini Doberman, the Min Pin is its own old German breed, not a scaled-down version of anything. The story starts in Germany, where these dogs worked as tough little rat hunters before spreading through Scandinavia. They landed in the United States around 1919, and the first AKC-registered dog was Asta von Sandruth. Living with one, expect bold, busy, and hilarious. Min Pins love to patrol like tiny watchdogs and need brisk walks, plus some short training games to keep their curious brains busy. Grooming is a breeze. Weekly brushing, nail trims, and dental care. Ears can be cropped or left natural, and tails are often docked in the US, though that's not required for pets. If you have a yard, lock it down. These little escape artists can squeeze through gaps or jump higher than you'd expect. On health, watch for toy breed issues like patellar luxation, loose kneecaps, and leg Calvé-Perthes disease, a hip problem that shows up in puppies. Severe cases of either may need surgery. Keeping them lean, using ramps for furniture, and asking breeders about knee and hip clearances helps a lot. With good care, Min Pins often live 12 to 16 years, making them a long-term companion. And it's that mix of bold attitude, endless energy, and fearless watchdog spirit, packed into such a tiny frame that earned them the title King of Toys. Number 12. Affenpinscher. Now meet the Affenpinscher. Small dog, massive personality. Standing 9.5 to 11.5 inches tall and weighing about 7 to 10 pounds, they usually live 12 to 15 years. Their wiry coat frames that iconic monkey face, and that's not an insult. The name literally means monkey terrier in German. Accepted colors range from black, gray, and silver to red, black and tan, and Belge. Historically, they worked as rat hunters in German kitchens and stables. By now, you've probably noticed a theme. Several of these early toy breeds began as ratters. In crowded European cities, rats weren't just pests. They were health hazards. So small, fearless dogs, like the Affenpinscher, were prized for their to protect food stores and homes. The French even gave them the nickname Diablotin Moustachu, which means mustached little devil. Over time, they left barns for living rooms but kept the same feisty, watchful energy. And even in modern times, they've had moments in the spotlight. Most famously, when an Affenpinscher named Banana Joe won Best in Show at the Westminster Kennel Club in 2013, shocking viewers who had never even heard of the breed. In daily life, they're loyal, funny, and a little bossy if you let them. They bond tightly with their people and do best with gentle, upbeat training. Exercise needs are minimal. Short walks and indoor play are plenty. Grooming is more about coat texture. Their wiry fur benefits from periodic hand stripping by a groomer to keep its shape. You'll also want to trim around the eyes so they can see clearly. Plus, keep up on nails and teeth. For health, the big one to know is patellar luxation, the same loose kneecap issue seen in many toy breeds. It's easy for a vet to check during exams, and keeping your dog at a healthy weight reduces strain. More seriously, some Affens can develop neurological problems like Chiari-like malformation or syringomyelia. Signs can include odd scratching or neck pain. If you're after a tiny watchdog with humor and attitude, this little clown delivers. Number 11. Bolognese. The Bolognese is tiny, calm, and always white. Males usually stand around 10.5 to 12 inches tall, while females are closer to 9.5 to 11 inches. Weight runs about 5.5 to 9 pounds. Unlike the fluffy Bichon Frise, their coat is all white and falls in soft ringlets, not sculpted or puffed up. No cream patches, no tinted ears, just pure white, with a black nose and black eye rims. This little dog has some serious old-world history. The name comes from Bologna, Italy, and they were popular gifts among Renaissance rulers. Records show Cosimo de' Medici sent 8 of them to Belgian nobles, and King Philip II of Spain once wrote that these dogs were the most royal gifts one can give to an emperor. Artists like Titian, Peter Bruegel the Elder, and Goya even painted them into their works. Daily life is pretty easy. The UK Kennel Club suggests no more than 30 minutes of exercise a day. They're perfect for apartments, and the coat is meant to stay natural. Just comb it regularly to prevent tangles. Many people call them no shed, though technically they shed very lightly. Health-wise, they're generally sturdy for a rare toy breed with a lifespan of 12 to 14 years. But dental care is critical. Tiny mouths mean crowded teeth, so regular brushing is a must. Tear stains are common on white coats, so wiping their eyes daily helps. Clubs also recommend routine eye screenings and DNA testing for progressive retinal atrophy. A good breeder will tell you exactly what they've tested for. Number 10. Papillon. The Papillon is light, fast, and smarter than you'd expect. They stand about 8 to 11 inches tall and usually weigh 5 to 10 pounds. Their name means butterfly in French, and you see it in the ears. Large, rounded, and fringed with silky hair. There are 2 ear styles under the same breed: upright Papillons and the drop-eared Falene. Their coat is single, silky, and frilled, but with no undercoat. These dogs are small but live long, usually 14 to 16 years, and they stay active well into old age. Watch their teeth, protect their fragile tracheas with a harness instead of a collar, and don't let tiny puppies leap from high places. But don't be fooled by the elegant look. Papillons are agility champions. They're regular winners in top competitions, and Westminster results back it up. One Papillon named Gabby tore through the 8-inch division in just 30.05 seconds, and Papillons show up in top placements year after year. And it's not just speed. They rank among the top 10 smartest dog breeds in obedience and working intelligence, which makes training them both fun and rewarding. That mix of brains and speed is why trainers love them. Living with one is straightforward. Short daily walks and training games keep them satisfied. Grooming is easier than it looks. Since there's no undercoat, a weekly brush and an occasional bath are enough. Just keep the ear fringes clean, trim the nails, and you're good. Number 9. Biewer Terrier. Now let's jump to the Biewer Terrier. And yes, you pronounce it like beaver. This little toy dog stands about 7 to 11 inches tall and weighs 4 to 8 pounds. Most stay under 8 pounds, keeping them truly pint-sized. What makes them pop instantly is the coat. It's long, silky, and straight, with no undercoat, always parted down the middle. Their coloring is one of their trademarks, a tri-pattern of black or blue, gold or tan, and pure white placed in very specific spots. You'll always see white on the chest, belly, legs, and tail tip, with no tan patches spread across the body. Add in the breed's signature ponytail on top of the head, and you get their unmistakable look. The history is pretty modern. In 1984, German breeders Werner and Gertrude Biewer had Yorkshire Terrier puppies born with tricolor coats that didn't fit Yorkie standards. The unusual look caught attention, even from singer Margot Eskins, and for a while they were called Biewer Yorkshire Terriers à la Pompon. Later, DNA testing confirmed they weren't just odd Yorkies, they were their own pure breed. In 2021, the AKC officially recognized them as the 197th breed in the toy group. At home, they're playful, affectionate, and shadow their humans closely. They'll happily carry toys around the house and make great little watchdogs without constant barking. Exercise is simple: short walks and indoor games. Grooming depends on your style. The full show coat takes daily brushing and cleaning around the ears, while many pet owners prefer a shorter, easier cut. Health-wise, they're generally sturdy for a toy breed, with lifespans of 14 to 16 years. Just like other tiny dogs, dental care is key, and a harness is better than a collar to protect their delicate windpipe. Number 8. Yorkshire Terrier. The Yorkshire Terrier might be pocket-sized, but its history is anything but small. Back in the 1800s, Yorkies worked as ratters in textile mills and mines. Then came one famous little dog named Huddersfield Ben, born in 1865, who basically set the look for every Yorkie that followed. Most stay under 7 pounds and stand around 8 to 9 inches tall. That glossy signature coat? It's a single silky layer parted neatly down the back, steel blue over the body, with rich tan on the head and legs. The tail is docked and carried just above the back, and the little V-shaped ears stand naturally erect. Shedding is light, but daily brushing is a must if you don't want tangled knots. Personality? Bold, busy, and smarter than they look. Short walks mixed with fun training games keep them sharp. But here's a real health tip: skip collars and stick with a harness. Yorkies, like a lot of toy breeds, are prone to tracheal collapse. If you've ever heard that weird goose honk cough, that's the warning sign. Keeping them lean and protecting the neck makes a big difference. One more health note that matters: Yorkies have a known risk for congenital liver shunts. Studies put it at about 3% in the U.S. population. For grooming, it's the full package. Comb every day, keep the top knot tied out of their eyes, trim the feet neatly, and don't forget dental care. Number 7. Pomeranian. The Pomeranian is the fluff ball of the Spitz family with more attitude than dogs 10 times its size. A Pom usually stands 6 to 7 inches tall and weighs between 3 and 7 pounds. Most fall around 4 to 6 pounds. They've got a thick double coat, a soft undercoat, and a full, harsh outer coat, with a plume tail that fans out flat across the back. The history has a royal twist. Poms are descended from larger northern Spitz dogs, but in the late 1800s, Queen Victoria fell in love with them. She kept dozens, showed them herself, and made the smaller size incredibly popular. Thanks to her, Poms became a huge hit in Britain and later in the US, even starring in their own specialty show at New York's Waldorf Astoria in 1911. Living with one is easier than you'd think. That coat looks intense, but regular brushing keeps it tidy. Light, tidy trims keep the edges neat, and you'll want to keep the ear fringes and the tail plume brushed through. Exercise is simple. Short walks and a little playtime do the trick. Just remember, the thick coat doesn't mean they handle heat well. Give shade and water in summer, but in winter, that same coat is a built-in blanket. The Breed Club tracks a condition called severe hair loss syndrome, sometimes called black skin disease. It's cosmetic, but frustrating, so good breeders will tell you what they've seen in their lines. With proper care, Poms often live 12 to 16 years. Number 6. Toy Fox Terrier. The Toy Fox Terrier is a true American original, tiny frame but pure terrier spirit. They stand about 8.5 to 11.5 inches tall, weigh between 4 and 9 pounds, and often live 13 to 15 years if kept lean and active. Square build, neat little V-shaped ears, and a shiny coat that feels like satin. Their look is very distinctive. More than half the body is always white, while the head carries most of the darker color. Typical combinations include tricolor, white and black, white and tan, or white, chocolate, and tan. White markings stay below the eyes and ears, which is part of what makes the breed's face so sharp and expressive. In the US, tails are usually docked short. Grooming is a breeze. Wipe them down weekly, clip the nails, brush the teeth, done. The history is fun. Early American farmers in the 1900s picked the tiniest smooth fox terriers to chase rats around barns. Later, breeders added toy Manchester Terriers and Chihuahuas to cement the small size without losing grit. These little firecrackers even toured with circuses as trick dogs because they're bold, agile, and love showing off. Living with one is never dull. They're sharp, loyal, and packed with personality. Short, brisk walks plus 5-minute training games keep them buzzing. They adapt great to apartments as long as they get jobs to do. Health-wise, good breeders screen for DNA-testable conditions like congenital hypothyroidism with goiter, primary lens luxation, and spinocerebellar ataxia. Number 5. Maltese. The Maltese is basically living proof that small dogs can rule the room. This little cloud on legs usually weighs under 7 pounds, stands about 7 to 9 inches tall, and can live 12 to 15 years. That coat? Pure white, silky, and straight. No undercoat at all. Some have a tiny splash of lemon or tan on the ears, but really, it's all about that so-white glam. The history goes way back. These dogs were cruising Mediterranean trade routes long before they were Instagram-ready lap dogs. Most experts link them to Malta, and by the late 1800s, the AKC had already recognized them. Back then, they were called Maltese lion dogs. Today, it's the same dog, just sleeker and smaller but still dripping with royal vibes. Now, about that famous coat. People see the floor-length, show-ready look and think that must take hours. Not really, because there's no undercoat. Brushing lifts out loose hair before it knots. Plenty of pet owners keep them trimmed short for comfort, while show dogs rock the dramatic flowing locks with a top knot tied up out of the eyes. Tear stains on the face are common, but a quick daily wipe handles it. As for daily life, these dogs aren't built for marathons, they're built for cuddles. Short walks, a little play, and then back to the couch or your lap. But don't be fooled. They can move when they want to. Number 4. Russian Toy. The Russian Toy looks like it could be blown away by a strong breeze. Skinny legs, bug-eyed stare, and those giant ears that look like satellite dishes. They stand just 8 to 11 inches tall and weigh up to 6.5 pounds. You'll see 2 coat types, the smooth coat, which is shiny and sleek, or the long coat, where the ear fringe grows so dramatically it looks like the dog is wearing tassels. Their trademark look also depends on those upright ears. Colors are tight too: black and tan, chocolate and tan, blue and tan, or one of the fiery reds. These dogs almost didn't make it. They were a favorite of Russian elites, but nearly disappeared twice in the 20th century. Breeders brought them back, and by the 1990s, they started popping up outside Russia. By 2017, They had an official global standard, and the AKC gave them full toy group status in January of 2022. Don't let the size fool you. They're not purse dogs. They're fast, curious, and demand something to do. Short walks and little games like fetch are perfect, but you can't just park them on a sofa. And always use a harness. Their necks are too fragile. Grooming is easy. Smooth coats just need a quick brush. Long coats? Comb out those ear fringes before they tangle. Brush the teeth daily. Keep them warm in winter. And don't let them leap off high furniture unless you want a vet bill. Number 3. Toy Poodle. The toy poodle is basically small dog royalty, and they know it. Toy poodles are 10 inches or under at the shoulder. Larger poodles are classified in the miniature or standard sizes. They rock that iconic curly coat, which can be styled a million different ways. Fluffy, short, corded, or the full-on drama of the continental or English saddle clip. Most pets stick with a neat trim that doesn't take hours of maintenance. Toy poodles typically weigh around 4 to 6 pounds and live anywhere from 10 to 18 years. Everyone throws around the word hypoallergenic. The truth? They don't shed much, but they're not magic. The real secret is grooming. Take them to a pro every 4 to 8 weeks and brush in between, or else that fluffy cloud will turn into a solid knot. Their brains are off the charts. They rank just behind border collies in intelligence tests. That's why they dominate agility and obedience competitions, tiny, fast, and sharp as a tack. The history's wild, too. Poodles started as water retrievers before they became fashion icons. Somewhere between hunting and high society, they also became circus stars. Because when you're smart, athletic, and stylish, why not steal the show? Life with a toy poodle is never dull. They want walks, games, puzzles, basically anything that keeps their brain busy. Brush their teeth daily, keep their ears clean, and you've got a little athlete disguised as a lapdog. They're typically solid-colored: black, white, red, silver, apricot, brown, and more. Number 2. Chihuahua. The Chihuahua is the heavyweight champ of being lightweight, literally the smallest dog breed by weight. In the U.S. show ring, they cannot go over 6 pounds. Most land around 5 to 8 inches tall. Despite being tiny, they're tough little survivors, often living 14 to 16 years. You only get 2 coat types: smooth, which is short and sleek, and long, which flows but still isn't hard to manage. Any color goes in the American standard. Solid, splashed, spotted, it's all fine. Their trademark features: big, upright ears, a tail that curls like a sickle over the back, and that classic round apple dome head. Some are born with a molera, that little soft spot on top, and the standard actually calls it normal, not a defect. Their backstory is just as strong as their personality. Chihuahuas trace back to Mexico, with roots likely tied to ancient companion dogs that were around long before Columbus. Now, let's kill a couple of myths. First, teacup Chihuahua? Totally fake. That's a breeder sales gimmick. There are no extra categories like teacup, just Chihuahuas. And 6 pounds is the max. Day to day, they're bold, alert, and way braver than their size suggests. Short walks, a little play, and mostly just sticking close to their person is their ideal life. They'll absolutely sound the alarm when someone comes to the door. Use a harness instead of a collar to protect their delicate windpipe. Keep up on dental care since tiny jaws mean crowded teeth. And don't let them launch themselves off couches like daredevils. Those little legs aren't built for high drops. For fun trivia, Guinness crowned a Chihuahua named Pearl as the world's shortest living dog at just 3.59 inches tall. That's smaller than most smartphones. Number 1. Prague Ratter. The Prague Ratter might just be the tiniest dog on Earth by height, and its size will blow your mind. Standing only 8 to 9 inches tall and weighing barely 5.5 pounds, it's smaller than most cats, lighter than a gallon of milk, and so short it could stand under the edge of a notebook page and disappear. That's how tiny we're talking. You'll see them in 2 coat types, a smooth, shiny short coat or a slightly longer one with fringes along the ears, chest, legs, and tail. The most common colors are black and tan, brown and tan, and blue and tan, but you'll also find red or even pale yellow in the gene pool. What's it like living with one? Think small frame, quick brain. They're affectionate with their family, curious about everything, and a little reserved with strangers. Around the house, they follow you from room to room, checking every corner like a tiny security guard. They don't need hours of exercise. Short walks, some indoor play, and a safe yard will do. But be ready, they move like little rockets. Their backstory is surprisingly old. Prague Ratters worked as rodent hunters and were often spotted at castle feasts with Bohemian nobles. The breed almost disappeared, but was revived by Czech breeders in the 1980s. They're still not AKC recognized in the United States, so you'll mostly meet them through specialty clubs and enthusiasts. Care is simple: light brushing for the smooth coat, a quick comb for the fringed type. Brush their teeth often, use a harness instead of a collar, and avoid high jumps. Tiny bones mean fragile landings. In cold weather, a sweater is more than fashion, it's survival. Thanks for watching. Now check out the videos popping up on screen for more unbelievable stories.